Hey guys, so in the late evening, I'm coming with another live, and I'm very excited about it because very long time in my life, I I saw myself in this way. I saw myself that I created a story about myself of who I am, who I should be, how should I treat people, how should I see the world, and I stayed with that in that story more than 30 years of my life, and I decided at some point that I need to change something about it because it didn't work in the way I wanted to work. So that's why I started looking for answers. And I had a story in my head that I'm a good person. I'm a person who doesn't have to do harm to people, that I have to be always good with people, that I always have to be gentle. And even if people do something to me, I need to turn the other cheek. Uh, I need to be gentle and respectful to women and respectful to everyone in the world. Basically, I had created a nice guy persona for myself. And I wanted to create a lot of things in life. And I thought that when I'm a nice guy, I'm gonna get it. And it doesn't matter if you created a persona of a nice, a bad, or guy or a girl. It doesn't matter. Matters is what matters actually is that everything which you identify yourself with is limit you. It limits you in some way. And this is the place I want to talk about here. So from the beginning, I mean, it's like a great story from the beginning of our life. No, actually, when we were children, we were playful. We didn't see things so seriously. We didn't take things so seriously, and that helped us to be really playful with life. But at some point, we started putting ourselves in boxes. We started creating stories for ourselves of who we are. But the problem is we forgot that we started creating these stories because we wanted to be accepted by others. And that worked in some way for us in certain time of our life. But later in life didn't work. But we created the stories anyway, so we continued in this way. And we continued this way until the day we realized that actually this doesn't work. That was my story with the nice guy, which I created in my early years, that I have to be gentle, good, and always understand other people. And I can't do harm to other people because that would be against who I am. But but I didn't realize that actually who I am was not something real. It was just a story, and it was a story which was created from me being afraid that other people reject me and other people wouldn't give me what I needed. And for me, that was it was very hard to make change of that. I mean, many years I worked on that and I didn't know exactly how to approach it. I approached it sometimes in a way that I was going against it. I tried to be the bad guy. That was the first way I did it, and especially when I was in high school and then university, I tried to look like the bad guy who is going and drinking and all this stuff and not studying. And but I didn't realize that actually that was exactly the opposite, which I was before that, and I didn't realize that it's exactly the same. It's the other side of the same coin, and that was actually that created this emptiness in myself because did that. I went against the other one, but that was the same. So later in life, I realized that the only way to go and to create something out of that is to first accept who I am, accept that I have created this persona of the nice guy, accept it and love it, and understand that I didn't understand what I was doing when I was creating it. I thought that that's the best way in order to survive in my environment. And at the time being, that was what I wanted, what I actually knew. And this piece of acceptance helped me tremendously in my journey to transcending this persona. And as nowadays, I can see myself as the nice guy as well, and using a lot of the behaviors of the nice guy because actually they're great, and I think a lot of people respect them. And that's actually the jewel in that. Wherever you are, whatever it's your persona you have created, your story you have created for yourself, it serves you in some way. But in some way also stays against you, and that's the problem because when you realize that you can use aspects of that, but you don't need to use to identify yourself fully with this persona. And this is where, for me, it helped me to disidentify with it and using only the things which are helping in my life. And when I say they're helping, I'm not saying like just selfishly achieving what I want in life, but actually also helping the society and the people around me and the world in general. And that for me was the revelation that acceptance precedes change and action. So once I accept what was created for me, what I created myself to be, and then really seeing it with the eyes of objective viewer and decide what of this which parts I can use and which parts I don't want to use anymore. Because I understood that and every human being is a very complex uh, connection with different traits, and you learn in life that you are neither of them actually. You have developed different things in your life, but you're neither of them. They're just tools you use in order to survive or thrive in this environment. And that for me was very important because then I didn't judge myself of who I created to be and my story, but I accepted. And once I accepted it, I started really using part of that, and then change some of them. And I changed them because they served me better at the time being. It doesn't matter if that was 5, 6 years ago or 10 years ago. And what another revelation which I realized is because I'm not any of these things, I might work on them actually every single year or maybe every 6 months. I work on them and actually do a reflection of that. Is that who I am right now is helping me to actually get what I want in life right now, and it serves me as the best way to express myself in the world. When I ask these questions, I realize that first of all, I have the freedom of that, I might change them, and second of all, I can really navigate myself based on the environment and the situation which are happening in my life. Over the last several months, I went through tremendous change in the way I see myself and the way I create in the world. And I'm so happy with that. It's hard. It's very turbulent time because like if you want to change certain patterns in you for 2 months, patterns which were going on in your life for a very long time, it's very hard. It feels like very overwhelming. But actually, at the end of the day, you see different results. You see different way you're showing up in the world, and that's really rewarding. So, what I'm trying to say to you guys is that what you have created it for good. You don't need to judge it. But what you can do is to really go from time to time and check it, and actually realize how much of this is serving you right now in your life, and what doesn't serve you. Just let it go. And I know that sometimes it's hard to do that because by letting go, you might feel that if you let go, you're gonna lose people, you're gonna lose material things, you're gonna lose uh, even yourself. But when you realize that yourself is not this, you're so much bigger than that. You're the consciousness which is actually looking over all of this, and you're creating actually yourself every single moment because you can. Then you're not so attached to these outside things. They're helping you, they're tools, but they're not you. And and miraculously, once you are detached from all of this, you get more of it because you're not with tension, you're going there with love, you're going there with curiosity, with power. And that's where I love helping people to go. That's why I do this, what I do. I'm so inspired by that because love seeing how people who are working with me are really releasing all of these patterns and they are really unleashing the potential inside because actually the potential is there and it's ready to be unleashed. Just these patterns stay on the way and they are fear-based. So by working on that, you become the person you know you are and you're changing, you're creating, you're really serving the world and yourself in a many completely different way. And when you wake up in the morning with the zest for life and wake up and go to bed in the evening with satisfaction, when you create great relationships with people you love and you love them way more now because you allow yourself to love them and there is no conditions for that. There's so many things which are changing in your life, believe me. So your story is just your story. You don't need to attach to it. You can use it, but you can let it go also. And this is a great freedom to have in your life. So you can do until the next time I share something here is just ask yourself the question, what part of my story doesn't serve me right now? What a part of my story of who I am and how I need to treat people and the world is something which really doesn't give me what I need from it. And just learn to let it go. Learn, learn to truly be with it, be okay to be without it as well. Because as I said, you're way bigger than that, and you have everything you need in order to create the life of your dreams. So talk to you soon. We have a lovely evening.